In this video, we're going to be learning how we can save our images in Adobe Photoshop as .png files. Great, so welcome back to my design class and another Photoshop tutorial. So we have our image here open in Adobe Photoshop. And one of the great things about saving your images as .png files is that you can actually have transparent layers within your image. So here, for example, you can see that we have a plant that has been cut out, so masked around the edges, and we've actually got a background layer behind it. But if, for example, we didn't include the background and this was actually a transparent layer, we can actually save our image with the transparency included as a PNG file. So this is one of the things that makes the .png file unique, is that you can have this transparency within your image. By the way, if you're wondering what .png stands for, it stands for Portable Network Graphics, and this transparency is available for both RGB and Grayscale color modes. Now, if you want to save your image in a different format, I have already covered some of the other ones on my channel, including how to save JPEGs. I'll make sure I leave a link to some of those in the description below, so do check that out if you're wondering how you can save them in different formats. But let's actually save this file as a .png file. So we have a transparent background with a subject in the foreground. So all we have to do to save is go to File and then Save a Copy. So PNGs are no longer included under Save As. You now have to go to Save a Copy, unless you have the legacy Save As option enabled, in which case you can still use Save As and it will look exactly like how we do with Save a Copy. So as you can see here, we can now save our file, so we can give it a name. So for example, I could save it as tutorial, and then obviously make sure you have the right file destination set. Then at the bottom is where we can actually select that we want to save it as a PNG file. So if you just press on the format, as you can see, one of the options just under Pixar is PNG. So we'll select that. And as you can see, all of these other options are grayed out. We don't actually have to worry about any of them. So all we have to do now is press save. And here we have a few format options for the PNG file format. So this options window allows us to customize how we actually want to save our PNG file. So as you can see, we have three options. We have large file size, medium file size, and smallest file size. So obviously, in some cases, you might want to optimize the file size of the PNG file that you're creating. For example, if you need a very small file size, perhaps you're uploading images to a website and you want to make sure that they're compressed as much as possible to save yourself file size, then this last option might be the best option for you. However, as you can see within these brackets, the main drawback of using a smaller file size is that it's actually going to take Photoshop longer in order to create the file, because it's got to apply more compression to the file itself. So obviously, if you save your file as a large file size, it's going to take Photoshop less time to actually create that, because it doesn't actually have to apply as much compression to your image. So this is just one of the considerations that you might have to take if you do want to be able to control the file size of your PNG. Now, just to show you how long this actually takes for this image that I have, all that I have is a very simple image with a transparent background. So this shouldn't take too long. So I'm just going to press on smallest file size and then press OK. As you can see in the bottom here, it's taking a small amount of time to actually create the file. And once that blue bar has disappeared, it will have saved our file. So as you can see, it's now saved our file. So what I'll do is actually open up the file in our Finder window so we can actually see what we've created. So as you can see, I now have my Finder window open, and here we have the two files. So this is the original PSD file that we had, which was this file that we were using. And here we have the .png version. So if I double click on this, as you can see, it's saved our image and it is transparent because this area is the same color as our window. Now, just to show that a bit more clearly, if I close this option and actually just drag the image into Photoshop, as you can see, if I move it around, it's fully transparent and it's actually cut out the bits that were the background in the previous version. So those were the fundamentals of how to actually save PNG files in Adobe Photoshop. So as you can see, it's a very, very simple process in order to save PNG files. If, by the way, you want to be able to save individual layers as PNG files, then I have made a video on how quick exports work. I'd highly encourage you to do that, because if, for example, you have multiple layers, perhaps I duplicate these a few times, as you can see, and you only want to be able to export one of them, there is a quick way you can actually do that and save it as a PNG file. So do check that video out. I'll make sure I leave it in the description once again. And do remember to leave a like on the video and to subscribe if you're interested in seeing more Photoshop tutorials.